Now, the woman who was in the apartment of the 34-year-old gym instructor at the time he was killed last week has opened up about the harrowing ordeal. Stephen Akowa, popularly known as Little, was shot last Thursday when 3 assailants attacked the apartment block where he lived at about 1 a.m. It was speculated that Little was killed because he had an extramarital affair with a lady who we choose to call Ikea. She has, however, denied cheating on her husband, explaining that she has been in a relationship with Little for about 4 years, having been divorced for almost 8 years. In an exclusive interview with Adum News, she also talks about how she looked on helplessly as her boyfriend bled to death because the assailants threatened her.
Onyaka haya no ba abefaka otika mukra edi wo calm onyobia opekasa
we know him. He picks his car here. He's a very calm guy. He doesn't even answer calls in the car. I know he's a gym instructor. I never expected this to happen to him.
That's a taxi driver who usually chauffeurs the late Stephen Akowa to and from work. Describing his relationship with the deceased, who was widely known as Don Little. Stephen, 34 years, was a fitness coach who worked and lived at Tantra Hills in Accra. He was shot to death at home Thursday dawn by 3 armed men for reasons still yet to be known. I have come to his house to find out what happened. As I walked into the house, there was hardly any sign of human presence.
And so now I see 2 sides of the house, 2 entrances. This one is open. I think I can knock from here, so I'm going to try and knock from here. And
a lady came out of the room, but she will only speak to me on condition of anonymity.
I said, "What tutu adieno?" Ana asa odi bibia hyem na odi ne to no ade hyem se na oka hyem se na waye ne sei bia na TV so enu face dey amedi hu etu no me hu be da ba me sure say because na isu.
So that was the original story as reported by Manuel Cranting last Friday, but now let's hear from the woman who saw it all.
I got up and grabbed my cane and toasted. I just saw somebody at the window, peeping inside the window. At that time, what I was thinking is like, since there are boys in there, maybe somebody was just trying to, being a bad boy to see what is going on in the room, So I said, won't you go and check? He didn't answer me. He said, I think that is just a cat because there is some cat here who has been moved. And so I saw a human being. So I took my cane as I was going. He said, please. And he said, where are you going? Go back. And I went to I was standing there at the bed, by the bed. And I saw him grabbing a kitchen knife. He put everything down, grab a kitchen knife. And so I went on the bed because for me, for my mind, as I said, it's just somebody trying to. And the timing too, it never crossed my mind that an armed robber can be around at that time because it was around 12:31 thereabout. So I heard, the next thing I heard is a key crack. Then at the same time, who is that in Chi? I heard that noise. Then it's like somebody he opened the door. Then somebody at the same time tried to push, and then he pushed back. Then at the same time I heard the gunshot. Then he screaming, they shot me. He said, hey, they shot me. Then as he's talking like that with his hand on his chest, they pushed him in with the gun on him. So as I also heard, I also ran through, coming towards him. As I heard his and they came and meet me with the gun, one on me and one on him, and another person. They pushed me back on the bed. While he was sitting, they had the gun on him with the other hand sitting on the bed. So they said, where are the phone? And I gave them my phone. They said, where is the second one? I had to look for it in the bed because Little put his own on the bed with the bed sheet has gone on it, so I had to look for it. and give it to them. Where is the money? We were not having any money in the house. It's just some money little left on the TV table. That one, I think they have seen it and taken it before. It's like some 100 Ghana with some coins there. So I quickly, since I was scared, quickly I said, please come and check. So I was just throwing everything out of the wardrobe for them to be sure that there's nothing. Threw everything out. Then they were convinced that there's no money. So they left him there and walk out. Then I grabbed this bed sheet and tried to press on the wood for him not to bleed. I was lost. I didn't know. I was screaming for help. Then I don't also want to leave the bedsheet and go and be banging on the door. But at the time I have to just leave it and go and bang at the door. Then they walk back inside with the gun on my head. Will you shut up? Will you shut up? Because maybe they are feeling like I'm going to alert the other people. And they remove the key out of the door. By that time, I was even hearing them in the other rooms. In the other room talking, I mean, the same way they were doing, I was hearing them even walking. I heard even they brought somebody to open his car. There was a small car to open. Whose car is it? They were asking somebody, whose car is this? So when I heard that one, I went back to the hall to try to lock the door. And I saw that there is that metal thing that lock the door up. So I lock it up there. So at that time, I heard somebody coming to shake the door, but they couldn't open it at that time. So I didn't hear anybody again. Then I was there, still hearing them moving around, doing things, talking, calling even each other. I heard this name, Awuro. Then at the time I was still pressing the thing on him, but since they are there, I didn't know, I can't open the door to, don't know. So I was with him, and then at the time, that was like about 15 minutes past, getting to 20 minutes, he's suffering. Then I saw that the blood was leaking through his back on the floor. And I noticed it wasn't small. I got panic. And I started screaming again. Then after like about 30 minutes, then he just got up stand up flat once. Then the blood just flew like, when they take water hole, the blood just came out. I got so scared, and then he started hitting everything in his blood. The blood was... At that time, I got so scared. I ran back to the hall and was knocking at the door, knocking. I wasn't hearing. Nobody was coming. The neighbors were not coming. So I thought that for me, they are also scared. They are in the room hearing me. I was so desperate, and I was saying, "Oh, and I can't help. I can't do anything." And I was, at least let me take him to the hospital.
Clinical psychologist and lecturer Akuhe Front says the woman needs immediate psychological assistance and support from family and friends.
She's been through a lot of trauma, and therefore she needs some psychological help. And then also, when we talk about psychological help, we're not talking about just counseling, the ordinary counseling as we usually know as Ghanaian, but she needs proper clinical counseling as well as any other help that she can get. She needs social help. She needs emotional help from her family and friends. Those who really call themselves friends, this is the time they need to show up, to show her some reason to trust in them, And then aside from that, that when we go through such problems, we go through something called post-traumatic stress disorder. And this is something that she needs a psychologist to help her overcome.
Okay.
Again, she may go through some form of depression at a point in time. And then again, she needs a psychologist to help her go through that. There are quite a number of things that she would go through. However, if she gets the right kind of support, then she'll be fine.